free. Chapter NYG's, pants is my code D. No iron team, homie, picture me solo. See what happened to Tony? Street, narcotics, raw dens. Raps don't work, find us in Tennessee. Looking for bucks, seeing if they still tend to.
NYG.
We appeal to those that feel.
Practice freedom of speech and refuse to hold back. Hey, what you say?
NYG.
We appeal to those that feel.
Practice freedom of speech and refuse to hold back. Hey, what you say?
NYG.
Do you recall not long ago when you would walk on the sidewalk? Innocent, remember, all we did was care for each other. But the night was warm, we were bold and young. All around, the wind blows, we would only hold on to let go. Focus, we need someone to lean on. Focus, all we need is somebody to lean on. Focus, we need someone to lean on. Focus, all we need is somebody to lean on. What will we do when we get old? Will we walk down the same road? Will you be there by my side, standing strong as the waves roll over? And the nights are long, longing for you to come home. All around, the wind blows, we would only hold on to let go. Focus, we need someone to lean on. Focus, all we need is somebody to lean on. Focus, we need someone to lean on. Focus.
We're coming to you from the Time Warner Cable Arena downtown Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the Hornets. Well, it was the Charlotte Hornets in their last game, losing to the Houston Rockets. A real closely contested game. They couldn't come up with a couple of key baskets, and they lost by 3.
You know, but they were able to hang in there for most of that game. But at the end, you know, when it matters most in terms of what I call winning time, they just could not make the plays on either end of the floor.
Yeah, I like that term, winning time. But as you said, they didn't get run over, but just couldn't convert when they needed to in the end.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. They've got Horford. Smith is out there with George Hill. Then it's Paul George.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam? Listen, got James Harden, clearly the front runner for the best shooting guard in the NBA. Arguably in the conversation for the best player in our league. And listen, he's a league leader in scoring a season ago. He's a one-man wrecking crew offensively.
Indiana on D. Schroeder kicks to Batum. Pass to Jefferson. Back to Batum. That misses off the backboard. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. On the wing, Batum lets it fly. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. And so it's Indiana with it. It's a 3-point game. Here's George. And Jefferson sends it back. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. And it's the Pacers with the ball. Out to the right wing. Here's Marjanovic. And the shot is good.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
And that one's good. Schroeder.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
Now here is Horford. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game. Over to the wing. 5 on the clock. Marjanovic. It's rebounded by Jefferson. And Harden with the basket on the assist from Batum. Harden's got 5 points so far.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Hill passes to George. Indiana moving the ball around. George missing again. Hornets leading by 5. Guys, this offense very effective.
Going right at them.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart.
To the inside. Marjanovic. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. 6 points for him. Schroeder kicks to Harden. Feeds to Green. There's the pass to Schroeder. Looking for Jefferson. He gets it there. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Smith on the wing. Here's Horford. A terrific shot on the turnaround. Horford's got his first points of the game. Charlotte in the lead. Schroeder with the ball. He gives a bit of a scoring lift to the team, averaging 8 points a game. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. So it's the Hornets now.
That's his first personal foul.
Jefferson dishes to Schroeder. Jefferson, a screen on Hill. And that one's good. Schroeder.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Now, here is George. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Pass to Horford. 6 on the shot clock. No luck.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
And the call will be against George Hill. That's his first foul.
And Steve Clifford might not be the most famous coach in the NBA, but he has plenty of experience, and everyone in the league knows exactly how well-versed he is as a coach.
It's Harden with the drive. Puts it up from 15. Misses the hole, and he's now 3 for 4. And foul call. Looks like they had a clear path to the basket. He'll be shooting 2 free throws. And they'll retain possession. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Charlotte?
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
And also another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the basketball.
And the Hornets making a change here. Mills is checked in. Hill passes to Horford. Picked by Horford. Here's Marjanovic. Defended by Batum. It's stolen by Jefferson. And here's Harden for 3. Harden missing again. And Clifford in his 3rd year now as a head coach, Greg. That experience you were just talking about. He has 29 years of coaching under his belt. And he's a Van Gundy disciple. Clark was on the coaching staff for both brothers.
Yeah, and he's been with a lot of teams, Kevin. 13 seasons as an assistant for the Lakers, Rockets, Magic, and Knicks.
Now Batum. Paul George missing from long range. Jefferson kicks to Harden. Charlotte no good that time either. Pacers trailed by 7 to the paint. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
And that one misses. And thinking back on George's injury, still a very graphic image in everyone's mind, but he was able to bounce back.
Yeah, it was great to see him get some game time before the end of the season after that horrific injury. A credit to him working as hard as he did, as well as to the training staff that got him back to be able to play before the end of the season.
Harden dishes to Jefferson. It's rebounded by Indiana.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him. And both teams on fire from the opening tip.
Well, I don't doubt it, Greg. We're going to have an entertaining game of basketball here today. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that's the case.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets. A big dip in performance here for the Hornets last year. In 2014, they were very tough to beat at home, and that was not the case in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, they struggled to string together those defensive runs at home. And in the end, that led to their less than stellar record.
Charlotte making some changes. Kaminsky, he's checked in for Jefferson. And Terrence Jones is subbed in for Green. Hornets leading by 3.
And, you know, that record for the Hornets last year at home, they ended up going 19-22, 6 fewer wins than they had in 2014 when they last made the playoffs.
Kaminsky, the pass to Harden. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it.
And really just a lack of awareness on his part. Just no idea he was right near the line.
Pacers trailed by 3.
And getting back to the Hornets, they were the worst shooting team in the league at home. And they have to remedy that in a hurry. Shot only 42% here last season.
So timeout call here, the first for Indiana. Indiana didn't have a great record on the road last season. Only went Clark 15-26 on the year, and it cost them down the stretch.
It really did, Kevin. I mean, the Pacers had a bumpy year with all of the injuries, particularly with George being out for most of the year. His absence was most noted in those tough road games, I think.
Now here is Hill. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Dishes it to Johnson. That's good.
Yeah, quick trigger. And from that range, if he senses the defenders have backed off, forget about it. And for the Pacers, perhaps the biggest loss of the season for them was on the road. Couldn't get it done in Memphis on the final day of the season to try and get into the postseason.
George sets a screen for Smith. Pick up by Hill. George, that's a two-pointer. Kept alive by Indiana. Horford kicks to Smith. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Harden to end the drought. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. 10 points for James Harden.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Well, here's a little factoid about the Pacers on the road last season, guys. They were much better shooting free throws on the road. The difference between their road and home free throw percentage was the largest positive mark in the league. That's kind of strange. Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Well, it always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Ezeli's checked in for the Pacers. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. Johnson dishes to George. No one near Smith as he lets it go. And yep, couple bounces and it falls. Smith's got 7 points. To the inside. Kaminsky, the pass to Mills. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
The Hornets getting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
Those are good numbers for any team. I mean, they can feel extremely good about their free throw shooting percentage this season.
The Pacers making a switch here. Booker's checked in. Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Harden kicks to Mills. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
And here's George. Looking at the numbers, he's averaging about 20.5 points a game. He feeds it to Ezeli. 5 to shoot. A nice shot by Booker.
And, you know, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure. Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard. And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation for the Pacers. You would have to imagine their goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
Johnson sends the screen for George. From deep three-point range. Second shot opportunity. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
Julius Randle's checked in for Ezeli. And watching Amir Johnson, Clark, he seems so casual about silently destroying opponents in the paint, and he's carried that air about him almost his entire career.
You know what? He's rarely had plays called for him, Kevin. He doesn't produce a bunch of highlights, but he's really potent. I mean, one of the league's best at defending opponents at the rim, grabbing in-traffic rebounds. Those both are valuable assets.
Al-Farouq Aminu, he's checked in for the Pacers. Randle with the ball. Jones covering. Indiana moving it around. Hill, no good. Hornets leading by 5. On the wing, Johnson. There's the dish to Mills. Screen by Jones. Fires the three. Hornets keep it alive. And there's a whistle. That goes on Terrence Jones. That is his first foul of the game. Outside Hill. Johnson sends the screen for Hill. Johnson wide open. He fires. Good. The assist goes to Hill. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. It's Charlotte. They lead by 3. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter.
I realize this.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And let's quickly break down the game, guys, we've been watching from the Hornets.
I just really like what we're seeing from a defensive standpoint, forcing a lot of turnovers with those quick hands.
Yeah, those active hands, Greg, have produced a number of steals early. They've been very aggressive.
And so here is Indiana. They trail by 3. They'll be off to Brooklyn for a meeting with the Nets after this one. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip. We've got Thornton. Draymond Green is out there with Jefferson. Then there's Dennis Schroeder. And it's Johnson in at the 3 slot. So that's the lineup for Charlotte. Randle against Green. Randle dishes to Jones. Just 3 to shoot. Now here's Green. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Got a piece of it. Johnson, the pass to Thornton. And that's out of bounds. Charlotte will retain possession. On defense, Indiana. It's a 3-point game. Shot clock at 6. The Hornets need to get a shot off here. Schroeder. And the call will be against Julius Randle. That's his first foul.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
They double-team Johnson. It's up a 3. And it's Thornton again missing. Pacers trail by 3. And Dennis Schroeder gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul.
It's stolen by Green.
Great reflexes to get a hand on that pass and go the other way with it.
A shot by Johnson, no good.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
The Pacers making a switch here. Smith is checked in to the paint. No one near Randall as he lets it go. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Schroeder kicks to Jefferson. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
His eyes just simply light up when he gets that close to the bucket. And you just know what he's going to do with the basketball.
Smith outside. He dishes it to Johnson. Here's Randall. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Randall. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Now Schroeder, 5 points in the game. And the wide open shot from Green. His three-pointers off the mark. Pacers trail by 3. And here they go. And that's an intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play. Well, if you really want to make things hard on yourself, that's exactly how to do it. Turnovers on back-to-back trips down the floor.
They're not doing themselves any favors at this point. They've got to stabilize their offense with just sound execution.
That's just tremendous. You love to see a smaller player who can mix it up inside and handle himself in the paint area.
And the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
That's his second personal foul. If he gets another, it probably puts him on the bench for the rest of the first half.
Pacers trail by 3. Here's Smith. He has 7. Pass to Randall. Back to Smith. Clock at 6. He kicks it to Randall. No good. Great D that time from Green. Charlotte leading by 3. Johnson kicks to Jefferson. With the fadeaway. That one falls coming off Johnson's feet. 8 points for Al Jefferson.
Kevin, that's beautiful. With the guy all over him, the fadeaway was about the only option he had, and he cashed in on it.
Here's Randall. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. The Pacers shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. And one feels bad for the way Julius Randle's career started. I was there that night. First game of the season, 7th pick out of Kentucky in the 2014 draft. Suited up for one game, broke his right leg 14 minutes in. And the guy that comforted him the most, I recall very vividly, Kobe Bryant stayed with him the entire time when he was really in shock on the floor.
And he was. And unfortunately, for so many reasons, for one, he had really been progressing in the summer league. And the Lakers obviously had high hopes for him. And when he went down, that was the start of the rest of the ship kind of going down with him.
Schroeder with the ball. He's got 5. It's Thornton atop the key. Shoots from the elbow. It's rebounded by Indiana. Johnson's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
And, you know, going back to Randall's rookie year, his troubles really started during medical checkups before the draft. They found a foot injury dating back to high school. The 5th metatarsal had been broken, which may be why he fell a few spots in the draft.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
And talking about Randall's rookie injuries, the Lakers were going to let him play through the foot. But once he broke the leg, they did season-ending surgery on the foot as well. Hopefully, now he can just stay healthy and get to play the game he loves.
So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Kaminsky, he's checked in for Jefferson. Batum comes in for Luigi De Tome. James Harden, he's checked in for Marcus Thornton. And it's Mills in for Dennis Schroeder. To the right side. Booker dishes to Horford. That doesn't go on the chance to tie.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
Yeah, showing some strength in the paint there. Tough rebound.
Here's Marjanovic. The shot is off. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. Harden kicks to Batum. And stolen by Booker. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
You know, guys, Al-Farouq Aminu, so highly regarded coming out of college, still really finding his way around the NBA. But this last season, with Dallas, he may have found his niche in this league.
That's a great point, Kevin. A guy who can give you a lot of things, rebounding, defense, hustle points. But he's already played on a number of teams in his young career because he's still trying to, as you put it, find that niche. Maybe he's finally developed who he is.
Here's the screen. And here's Jones. Kicks to Booker. He nails it, and we're tied up. Booker's got 6.
Yeah, and on the topic of Aminu, he's a bit of a tweener. Doesn't have quite the quickness and ball handling skills the top small forwards have. Doesn't have the bulk or grit to match up against the better power forwards. He's a hard fit for what you want to have done at that position.
Jones drives in. Here's Marjanovic. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points. And, guys, getting back to Aminu, he still has the tools to be a really good player. But like so many young guys, he has to focus. He has to bring the intensity 100% every game. And I could see him being one of those late bloomers, if you will.
Paul George, he's checked in for Al-Farouq Aminu. Last season for James Harden was easily his best yet. Finished second in the MVP race. Put up huge numbers with career highs in points per game, scoring. Greg at more than 27 a game.
And also carried that Rockets team that dealt with a plethora of injuries, mainly to Dwight Howard. And second in the league in scoring, I mean, narrowly losing out to Russell Westbrook, who just went on a tremendous tear the second half of the season. And then also finished runner-up in the MVP race.
Here's Marjanovic, defended by Batum. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And it goes on Draymond Green.
They're just over 80% from the line now. Much better than what they shot in the first.
The Pacers have made their free throws at a pretty good clip. They've been 8 of 10. He's off on the first. After making it to the playoffs in 2014, the Hornets couldn't repeat the feat in 2015. A slow start probably, Greg, more than anything else did in it.
Really disappointing season coming in with such high expectations, and 33 and 49 just not good enough to get into the playoffs in any season.
The feed to Horford. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got 3 assists now in this one.
Even though it went down, I don't think that's the kind of look they should be settling for. You know, for the Hornets, they've not made consecutive playoff appearances since the team moved to New Orleans back in 2002. They just haven't been able to stay consistent enough to make it to the playoffs back-to-back years.
Charlotte calls timeout.
And guys, what's rough for the Hornets is that they were a consistent playoff fixture in the late 90s. Still, the team has never made it to the conference finals in its franchise history, and that should be a goal for them in the coming years.
And some changes here for the Hornets. Jefferson comes in for Kaminsky. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Patty Mills. Hornets trail by 5. The three from Harden. No luck. And Indiana will go the other way with it. Now, here is George. Here's Marjanovic. In the corner, Smith with it. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Harden kicks to Green. Pass to Schroeder. Harden outside. Feeds it to Jefferson. Just 5 on the clock. Back to Harden. Soft touch off the glass. Harden's got 13 points.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
And Horford wide open. He shoots. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Right side, George. Right wing. Horford with it. Jefferson picks him up. Back to George. Three-pointer. Here's Marjanovic. That pushes it to double digits. And it's a 10-point Pacer lead.
There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop.
Another miss by Batum.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
And he gets it to go.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
Charlotte calls timeout.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, GA, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
On the floor now for Charlotte. The Pacers also with a sub. Johnson's checked in. Curry kicks to Jones. Misses the three.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
All right.
You know, I can think of one way to describe George Hill. It's the culmination of several attributes. I mean, he comes from the school of Popovich, plays under control, always in the right place defensively. The way I describe him is just steady.
An interesting thing about George Hill, he was traded from the Spurs to the Pacers a few years back. Many people were surprised the Spurs would even trade a valuable veteran when they were trying to win a championship. But who did they trade him for? Kawhi Leonard. A pretty good deal.
Well, you know, Hill is really solid. He knocks down open shots, can run the offense or play off the ball equally well. I think he's a terrific combo guard. Gives you a little bit of everything and does it in a professional way. And that's typically what attracts him to other teams.
The Pacers making a change here. Rangers checked in. Pick up by Hill. George passes to Smith. Granger outside.
2 minutes remaining.
Right side George. Clock at 6. And Datome pulls it down.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Screen by Jones. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
That's as good as it gets right there. Beautiful reverse layup in traffic.
George with the screen on Curry. Hill kicks to Granger. And George, here we go. Inside. Here's Johnson. Good, the assist goes to Hill.
Amir Johnson.
Hill's got 5 assists tonight.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
George with the ball. And Curry picks him up defensively. George dishes to Hill. And it's George finishing it off.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Datome, the pass to Kaminsky. Datome kicks to Kaminsky. Dishes to Curry. Paul George with the steal. And here we go. And the jam by J.R. Smith.
Ooh, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Amir Johnson.
And just a nice combination of size and feel there. Terrific finish down low.
Charlotte shooting their 5th free throw of the game here. 11 seconds left now here in the second. Now Hill. Here's George. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
Well, it definitely was a disappointing part of his game this year. Not the numbers he was hoping for from the stripe.
And so we conclude the first half. Pacers lead by 15. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
right, Charlotte. Now entering the
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third.
What a performance from Harden here. He's got 13 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top and let him add to that total.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first two quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Just in attack mode, he was able to get in the lane at will in that first half.
Yeah, it really was aggressive attacking basketball at its finest. I mean, really a lot of fun to watch.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the court right now for the Pacers. Paul George is out there with Horford. Then there's Hill. Then there's J.R. Smith. Jefferson's shot is off.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
5 on the clock. Horford. Here's George. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
And an open path to the hoop there. Easy bucket. We've seen that far too many times today.
Schroeder kicks to Batum. On the wing, Green. Guarded by Horford. Jacks up a 3. And that one's good. Schroeder. Schroeder's got his third basket of the night.
And you know what? One of the few bright spots in this game for them today. He's kept his edge even though they've been trailing.
It's George on the wing. The Hornets pull it in. Jefferson's got his 5th rebound in this one.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much. You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Here's Hill. Out to the right wing. Screen by Smith. Here's Marjanovic. The shot is off. Jefferson with some nice D. Hornets trail by 12. And it's sent back by George. And that'll be Charlotte as it goes out of bounds. Hornets retain possession. Outside, Batum. Stolen by George. Right side, Hill. Indiana moving it around. Outside, George. And it's George again missing. Charlotte's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Batum with the ball. Now Smith defending. Batum against George. And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
That's his 3rd personal foul. Indiana calls timeout.
And the Pacers call time here.
And Charlotte had a lot of momentum going into last season off that playoff appearance. But they just stumbled out of the gates last season and spent the whole year playing catch-up.
And for the Hornets, they seemed to get back on track last January, but they faded apart quickly after that and were too far behind to make up room and get in the playoffs.
And, you know, they had a rash of injuries, Kevin, and that really did them in. All in all, it was a season that just didn't have any traction for them because of the injuries.
Johnson, he's checked in for Indiana. 6 on the shot clock. Smith kicks to Horford. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And it goes on Draymond Green.
That's his 2nd personal foul.
Yeah, now Horford really has become one of those elite two-way big men. And that's very rare. You look at most bigs in the NBA, they excel at either one end or the other, but this is one of those guys that does it all.
The pass to Schroeder. Screen by Jefferson. Harden has a wide open look. Connects from three-point range. Harden's got 16.
Something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to float.
Yeah, they've had a great second half from long range, Greg. I mean, things are definitely starting to look up for them.
To the left side wing. Back to George. Fires from the line. The offensive rebound. And the dunk by Horford.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it.
Harden kicks to Batum. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. And Horford at 6'10", a natural power forward who's been pressed into duty at the center spot, but he holds his own on the low block.
He also does a really good job, Kevin, moving his feet and covering in space, covering the pick and roll. He's outstanding in that regard, which is important in today's game. He's got mobility and a high IQ.
Outside Hill. Pass to Horford. It's stolen by Jefferson. Goes up. Flushes it down to finish the break.
How about this run they're in the midst of? On the verge of tying it up or maybe even taking the lead.
Has been an unreal turnaround, and I give a lot of credit to the defense right along with what they did on offense, because the defense actually gave them the spark they needed.
Horford, no luck. And it's the Hornets ball. They're on a 12-3 run. The dish to Batum. He feeds it to Jefferson. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Batum. Good on the three-point shot. And now it's only a 5-point Pacer lead.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Screen by Smith. It's tipped. Stolen by Harden. And a fast break now for the Hornets. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You look at what Schroeder has done so far. He's got 8 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
And Clark, it's no stretch to say the more points he gives them from beyond the arc, the better off they'll be.
After a rookie season in which he really struggled, Dennis Schroeder made big strides last year.
Yeah, I think pretty much dramatic improvements across the board, Kevin. Really a most improved candidate for sure. He solidified that reserve unit for the Hawks, in my opinion.
Picked by Horford. Outside Hill. Smith outside. Back to George. Just 4 to shoot. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Everyone understands the importance of Paul George to the ball club. That's why taking his offensive game to the next level would be so beneficial.
Yeah, he has all the physical tools, the instincts, and obviously he has made those strides. But if he wants to become a top 5 guy, he's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of his game.
Wesley Johnson's checked in for the Hornets. A baseline J. Jefferson's shot is off.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Horford sets a screen for Smith. Horford, he's open. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
For my man PG, Paul George, so much focus has been on extending his range, but ever since he started launching over 5 3-pointers a game, he shot under 43% from the field. Maybe time for him to balance out that shot selection. He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Pass to Johnson. Green against Johnson. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Amir Johnson. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
And guys, talking about Paul George, the continued improvement of his ball handling is key to generating more offense. That was a weakness of his coming out of college. He's worked on it, but making it a strength the way LeBron has would go a long way toward getting him to that next level.
And the Hornets call time here.
And one bright note for the Pacers last season was the play of their bench. Adding Rodney Stuckey was a huge boost for them.
And some changes here for the Hornets. Terrence Jones is checked in for Draymond Green. Thornton comes in for James Harden. And it's Mills in for Dennis Schroeder. Al Farouk Aminu, he's checked in for the Pacers. Booker comes in for Smith. Jones drives in. The rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And Stuckey led the charge for the Pacers bench, Greg, as you were talking about. But all around the reserves, Clark, were fantastic on the Pacers.
Yes, 3rd in the league at almost 41 points per game off the bench. 1st in the NBA in bench rebounding and top 10 in field goal percentage as a bench.
Outside Hill. Picked by Horford. Hill dishes to Johnson. From downtown. Can't get it to go. And Charlotte will come the other way. On the wing, Johnson. The tray. And that one's good. Johnson's got 6 points.
Add another triple to their second half total.
They came out of the break just dropping bombs and just not letting up at all.
Kicks it to Booker. And a dunk by Horford.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
Here's Mills. Nice shot from the wing. 5 points in the game. Pacers leading by 5. Outside Hill. Out left to the wing. Horford with the screen on Jones. Booker the pass to Horford. And the basket by Hill. Charlotte's gone 4-6 from three-point land since the start of the second half. Screen by Jones. From deep, Johnson. That's good. Johnson's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for the Hornets.
And they're just raining threes on both ends.
Boy, I love the answer. You come at me with the 3, I'm coming right back with my own triple.
To the wing right side. Back to Horford. Cannot hit. Good work defensively by Jones. Now here's Mills. Defended by Booker. Johnson gets the bucket. Pacers leading by 3. Here's Booker. No good on the 3.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
Jones. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
And really, all game long, they've been able to excel with their post game, just dominating on the low block.
I've been impressed with how well they've penetrated tonight, too.
He misses the free throw. And the second free throw, good. And Indiana shooting straight 49% from the field. To the wing on the left. Here's Marjanovic. And he jams it with authority.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession. Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. There's 37 seconds left to play here in the third. Aminu with a screen for Hill.
And guys, no doubt George Hill had it rough last season. He missed the first 28 games with that left knee injury, came back for 5, then missed another 11 games before his season got going. But you know what? He had one of his most productive years from that point on.
Both free throws good from Hill. And getting back to George Hill, what a second half of the season he had. He tore up several key categories, Clark.
Yeah, he was bogged down by injuries early in the season. Came back to average career highs in points, rebounds, and assists, partly because he was finally treated and looked to as a go-to guy, and he thrived in that role.
He dishes it to Randall. Good. The assist goes to Hill. 6 points for Julius Randle. And we've reached the end of the third. Pacers out in front, up 8. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. And the final period of play just about to start. And so here's Charlotte. We've got Kaminsky. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Harden. Then there's Draymond Green. And it's Batum in the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Charlotte. Count it, and the Pacer lead has been cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Kaminsky. Picked by Randall. Jones drives in. It's stolen by Kaminsky. And a fast break now for the Hornets. Batum leading the charge.
That's his first personal foul. At the line for
and the first one drops.
Dennis Schroeder.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. Looking at the last game for the Indiana Pacers, it was a loss to the Pelicans. Out to the wing. Back to Jones. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, how about the body control on that one? Narrowly misses getting the deuce.
Boy, he had a nice look at it after drawing the foul. Boy, it would have been nice to get an and one there.
And so Jones nails both of them.
He's a dead eye at the line, fellas. Just call him automatic. He doesn't miss many of those.
A shot by Kaminsky. Nobody around. Connects from 3-point range.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the 3-point variety.
And you need the defense to stop the bleeding.
He's whistled for the 5-second back to the basket violation.
Oh, no, you hate to see that. Those are just the kind of errors that can cost you in a game like this.
Right wing. Now here's Schroeder. He's covered closely. Here's Green. The score now all even.
And the road back into this game wasn't a short one, but they've managed to make it all the way back and tie this thing up.
And, Greg, I've got to admit to you, I mean, I did not think they were going to get all the way back. I thought they were done. But they've shown some serious resilience and character to battle this far back.
And Booker kicks to Randall. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
And stolen by Booker. And now here comes Jones leading the break. And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. That will be foul number 5 on him.
Oh, man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
And the Pacers call time here.
Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, might as well make those adjustments right away.
Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Frank Vogel addressing his team. He told them, this is it, fellas. Let's hit them right out of this timeout. Put some pressure on them. Show them how much you want it. Let's go get it. Guys, he's really exhorting them to give them a burst of energy.
Thanks, Doris. Johnson, he's checked in for Indiana. Smith comes in for Jones.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
That puts them in the lead.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep.
Here's Randall. He kicks to Booker. Moves back up. And Johnson with the lay-in good. And the Pacers lead by 1.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here. The second effort, and the layup is good.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Harden outside. The feed to Schroeder. Back to Harden. Just finds the shoot, and they're able to recover. And J.R. Smith picks up the foul. Full 24-second shot clock. Green, the screen. At the elbow, Harden. And he jams it with authority.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented. For plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, though, great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now.
Schroeder with the ball. Pass to Kaminsky. Feeds to Schroeder. Lets it go with a 3. Tipped away. And stolen by Booker. Now the Pacers moving it up. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Now it's a 5-point Pacer lead.
Really a heads-up play on both ends there. The steal and the quick push on the break.
Rapid-fire basketball at its best. Boom, 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 bang. That's a weapon they've been allowed to use at will today.
Yeah, the defense struggling to take that away from them.
Smith outside. Booker in the corner. 6 to shoot. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Booker with it. And it's Harden picking him up. J.R. Smith on the wing. Johnson the screen. Smith dishes to Johnson. Down low. Here's Randall. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Punches it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
I tell you what, they're not backing off at all, are they?
Booker the pass to Smith. Johnson with a screen on Batum. Smith kicks to Randall. All alone. Green with the rebound. Green's got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Yep, the next one puts them on the line, so they've got to be careful the rest of the way.
The Pacers making a switch here. George is checked in. It's Harden with the drive. And again, the Hornets missing.
Not the best shot right there with a good defender draped all over you.
I agree with you. I mean, not the shot they were hoping for, but he can really cause problems with his defense.
It's stolen by Schroeder. And here they go. Botches the slam dunk finish.
Oh, that's a golden opportunity to finish on the break, and he blows it.
Yeah, at this level, you got to make that shot. It's plain and simple. You got to knock that one down.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
George against Harden. Kaminsky dishes to Batum. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Batum's got 5 points now this quarter.
You know, he was a non-factor in that first half, but now he's making up for lost time.
Smith kicks to George. Picked by Randall. Just 4 to shoot. Shot off the pick. Rebounded by Kaminsky. Outside Batum. Harden against Smith. Kaminsky sets the pick for Harden. Dishes it to Kaminsky. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Charlotte making a switch here. Jefferson's checked in. Al Horford's checked in for the Pacers. Hill comes in for Booker. Hill kicks to Smith. Johnson the screen. Smith the pass to Johnson. One-on-one here. He lobs it up. The alley-oop layup. Very well done. Now just a 4-point Pacer lead.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
George against Batum.
Wow, what a rough second half for him shooting the basketball. Maybe you adopt a pass-first mentality at this point.
Harden kicks to Batum. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 9th assist in the game now.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
Timeout called the Pacers. And guys, Nicholas Batum is a real greyhound on the floor. The guy's got long strides, runs fast, long and limber. Clarkie, he covers a lot of ground.
Extremely active at both ends of the court, Kevin. Great versatility. He can defend three positions, and he's played big minutes for the Blazers.
And guys, now the NBA has what's called player tracking. I mean, they can show how much ground a player can cover over the course of a season. And Nicholas Batum, always amongst the leaders. 2 seasons ago, he was number 1.
Perkins is checked in for Charlotte. Jones comes in for James Harden. Indiana also making some changes. Granger comes in for Amir Johnson. And it's Booker in for J.R. Smith. And George, here we go. Horford kicks to Hill. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
And Batum with that slender build, you know, you like his height and length, but he can get pushed around at times. I think he could still stand to add some strength.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the Hornets call time here. Charlotte making some changes. Al Jefferson is checked in for Perkins. And James Harden subbed in for Terrence Jones. Indiana also making some changes. Johnson, he's checked in for Granger. And J.R. Smith subbed in for Booker. Harden dishes to Jefferson. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Al Jefferson doing all sorts of things. 8 rebounds, and the steals are starting to pile up for him also.
And Clark, he's really gotten into their heads because of it. I mean, guys are on the lookout for him, always worrying about where he is.
That one misses.
They should be in front right now, but he'll be relieved not to have come up totally empty there.
And George kicks to Horford. Trying to get back.
Oh, wow.
It's a beautiful jam.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Harden draws the double. Deflects the pass. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
Just 2 to shoot. Green. The Pacers pull it in. 17 points was their biggest margin. Smith outside. Johnson outside. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
Huge turnover there, and at a bad time, too. You have to value every possession.
.135 left in the fourth quarter. They set the screen. Schroeder kicks to Harden. And again, the Hornets missing.
think it's going to be tough for them to trim this deficit if he keeps missing those kinds of shots, Kevin. I mean, they need his points.
And a fast break now for the Hornets. Batum wide open. He fires. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Indiana leading. .103 left here in the fourth quarter. George against Batum. Picked by Horford. Nobody near George. It's in.
Shot after shot, one after the other. PG, Paul George, making it happen.
Harden the pass to Jefferson. And taken away by Johnson. And an intentional foul right there. They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it inbounds that time. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
And as a coach, that's the kind of turnover that drives you nuts.
And, Greg, there's no reason for that turnover to happen. It's just inexcusable.
The drive by Hill. Tries to keep it alive. And so here's Charlotte, trailing by 4. Here's Jefferson. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
At the line for your Hornets, shooting 2, Al Jefferson.
So the first one drops, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one.
If he hits all of those, they're feeling a lot more comfortable, but now still a one-possession game.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. They're up by 3. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Booker, he's checked in for Johnson. They can more or less wrap it up right here.
This has to be a very smart possession.
George dishes to Hill. So the first one drops, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game.
And thanks to his good work at the line there, now we have a 2-possession ball game.
Charlotte calls timeout. They're losing by 5. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And you know what? And they're going to draw up something where they can get a quick shot and then maybe a foul.
That's got to be the game plan here. I mean, free throws are really their only hope. Points with the clock stopped.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. Here's Kaminsky. Sinks it. And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Clutch shot right there. That could be the difference maker.
Indeed, it might be a big, huge moment in this game right there.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away.
Second one is good. Getting both at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Time running low here.
A quick score, Greg, and then probably foul him right away.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. And now they foul and stop the clock.
Dennis Schroeder. That's his 4th personal foul.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5.
George Hill at the line for 2.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
Those free throws are the nail in the coffin, guys.
A 3-ball. No good there. So it's Indiana picking up the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now we'll head over to the award.
Primo. Dynamic duo. Dynamic
동전한 입조차 쉽고 일 없어 잠 못 들던 그때보다 조금은 일었어 우리는 바보처럼 몸으로 부딪히면서 배웠어 넘어질 때마다 일었어 다시 고쳤었지 이력서 눈부신 성공의 신바람 잠시나마 불어봤던 휘파람 한 곡도 퇴근하기 전에 그림자처럼 날 따라온 비바람 시기 질투 기대 압박을 못 이긴 몇 번의 실축 저만 나태함 속에 던졌던 말로 홈런을 맞는 실투 다 끝 난가가 탔지만 우리 앞길을 막지 말라고 외치며 마음을
What are 3 tips that you had for them on attacking? Hey guys, on today's episode of NBA 2K TV, we fill you in on all the new things coming with Patch 3, hang with cover athlete James Harden, and give you some winning tips on using the pick and roll in 2K16. Tune in now.